investigations, we're told, has now released on bail a Ghanaian Lebanese pilot and author. It depends on which literature you're reading or which report. They also said he's also a journalist, Fadi Dabusi. He was arrested and by the close of the 48th hour was released. The BNI picked up Mr. Fadi Dabusi around midday on Friday upon his arrival from Lebanon. And the BNI has so far not released a statement on the arrest. We also interviewed his lawyer, who said that he was not made to see his client, etc. I don't know which of you to start with. Let me start with you, Mr. Benaye. What do you make of this very arrest? It's like it's been getting a lot of traction in the media the last 2 days.
Maybe because the man is one of your own. I'm told he's also a media.
Yes, he writes,
yes.
Actually. So he writes and his opinions are published.
So maybe that's why you give it much attention.
But we know that he's a member of the MPP as well.
Yeah. But to me, he's a human being.
Sure.
He's a Ghanaian. Even if he's not a Ghanaian.
He is a Ghanaian.
Yes. He's a human being. And BNI needs, as an institution. In fact, this one will not even limit it to maybe this government tenure or, BNI as an institution needs to up their game. They've gained some kind of notoriety over their operations and abuse of human rights issues and things like that. I don't know what the heads of that institution really think. Over the years, they've been doing these things. People have been talking about it. I remember a story where this pregnant woman was taken there and over some 100 Ghana cedis, and the woman lost. She had miscarried, lost the baby, and she herself, I think, whether she also died, I've forgotten the exact story. And it's been going on and on, arresting people, innocent people, only to be freed a day or two, and in the process, they don't also even give their lawyers access to their clients. We are told of all kinds of stories that go on within the compounds of BNI, and it seems nobody also seems to be questioning their operations. For all these years, it happened in NDC1 and MPP, and then back to NDC2, and it is still going on. Have we as a people accepted that is their modus operandi, so we should let it go? I believe it's about time we took on one of the leadership of this particular institution.
How?
Yes, because this cannot go on. It cannot go on over and over and over. But if for one reason or the other, the boss of BNI is hauled before the law courts for other human rights abuses or whatever, and he is dealt with, then that institution will sit up instead of them thinking they are law unto themselves because in the previous years they did it and got away with it, and today they are doing it so they will get away with it, and tomorrow, that is if nobody takes them on, they will do the same thing tomorrow and perhaps get away with it. According to the scanty reports we all have, what has this man done? He's just written something. In fact, as we speak now, BNI themselves have not spoken, so we all rely on the reports that have come out. He has just written something that either the president does not like it or somebody feels bad about. But should that be handled by the BNI? Where is the Media Commission? Where is the National, is it NMC? Where are they? I don't see the criminality in this particular action. But here again, here we are, BNI not telling anybody anything as to why he was arrested. And
but we live in a country of you being granted or asked to operate in a free speech environment. Now, if speculatively we're told that that's the issue, and you read some of his, I read some of his opinion on when it's published in the news media, well, a bit harsh, but he's entitled to it. Free speech.
Are we saying that because of free speech anybody can say anything and go?
Well, there are appropriate quarters if you think that you have been maligned or negative things have been written about you, that you can get some redress.
So we are talking about the president of the state, who wouldn't do anything on him or herself. but the people that manage him, the institutions that he is on top of. And so it's different when I say something, then the BNI picks somebody on my behalf to that of the president. So he might have gotten free with the statement, the free speech that he's talking about. Maybe I said something about me, I decided not to take him on all this. But he's spoken about the president, and it is the responsibility of the state institution to make sure that what he has said is really something that would benefit the nation or cause the nation some harm. Reading from what you have given me, and it's on Joy News, I mean, the BNI has not released a statement on the arrest. However, Joy News sources says that Mr. Dabosi, whatever the name is, Dabosi, was arrested because he has consistently made offensive and scathing comments against the president in his articles. In one of such articles, Mr. Dabosi is said to have claimed that the president has impregnated one of the daughters of Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu. This is a serious statement which no other institution but the BNI is mandated to handle this. I remember in 2008, I mean within the days of the President Kufuor's administration, my former vice chairman, Alhaji Sani, was picked up by the BNI, drove naked. Yes, that is where I agree with Honorable, that sometimes they go beyond their limits. The torture sometimes is too much. Picking up the person is not any big deal, but what the person goes through. For instance, Alhaji Sani was driven from Kumasi naked, nothing in the car, and brought to Accra for just staying on radio that President Kufuor wasn't right to rule the country. That was all on Hello FM. The next night he was picked, spent the night in cells, drove from Kumasi to Accra, detained, and was brought back. That was all. We never heard anything. But the point or the defense of the BNI was that he was speaking about the president. And so if we will continue to say that free speech, and because of free speech, anybody can just get up and say anything against the president, then we are setting a very bad precedent. Because the NDC will not be in power forever, even though we will be in power for a very long time from now. But definitely one day, I don't know, and I pray that one day when the MPP is assuming office, then it could be my very good friend, Honorable to be the president, so I can easily also walk through to the Flagstaff House and assess whatever I need to assess. I mean, it means that I'm wishing that it goes on. So if tomorrow I sit down there and Honorable Aye is the president, then somebody gets up and say that he had come to impregnate my daughter, knowing very well that he cannot defend himself.
Is that at the center of the case?
That is what he's talking about. That he claims that
in the essence of the book that has been published in the media, yes.
From what you have
59 years.
For what you have said, the man has said so much, and indeed you have admitted here that some are too harsh. So this is not the first time he's making a statement. And maybe because there is free speech and he makes the statement and goes scot-free, it is urging him on to be making statement and gone to the extent of saying that the president. Well, won't you bring evidence to that? I mean, the only place that can force you to bring evidence to this, and indeed I listened to his lawyer on Joy News this morning, that the lawyer was claiming that when he went to the BNI, he then admitted at the BNI that he only quoted the story from the Al-Hajj newspaper and the Herald newspaper also. So it is in BNI cells that he is saying that it's not a statement from him, but rather he is quoting.
But then he put it in his article.
That is in his article. And so me, who haven't read from the Herald or the Al-Hajj newspaper, but reading from his article, what do I get from it? that he has a source that says that the president has impregnated the daughter of Utum. Why do you go to that extent? I mean, even myself and Honorable, how many people will be bold enough, even if it is true, to come out and say that you've impregnated some? Why would it be true? How is it possible?
I mean, I don't know.
So you just make these statements and go scot-free, and the next morning,
that's why he was picked up.
The next morning we are talking.
You said he
the next morning we are talking about
he alleged that in his article that he said the president.
I'm not alleged. It's here. You gave it to me. I mean, you can read it. It's something that I'm reading.
What if it turns out to be true?
That is what I'm saying. I'm reading from.
I'm saying, what if it turns out to be true?
But it's true. True that. It can be true, because as I speak with you now, Mensah has even come out to issue a statement. There was a statement rebutting that, and that the Mensah shouldn't be brought into these things. I mean, everybody knows the relationship between President John Dramani Mahama and the Mensah Palace. Everybody knows.
They have a very close relationship.
Very close relationship.
I see.
You see, by me, the use of BNI is where I have a difficulty. You see, because even again, if we are talking about human rights, do you know that this man has a right not to talk within their confines? So how can you say that when they call him? No, but that is torture. This is again against his rights. He can decide not to talk within their confines. So to think that if we hold somebody within our confines, that the confines of BNI, there he may be compelled to speak, then perhaps you will be forcing, evidence out of him, which again is wrong. You see, I don't think that the appropriate institution to deal with, even if somebody has insulted the president, is the use of this.
Have you been following the gentleman's writing? You don't?
No, I don't.
Do you know him? Have you heard of his name?
I don't. No, this is the first time
he's a Ghanaian Lebanese pilot.
And I'm told he's a Ghanaian. And he's an MPP, right?
Well, I know.
That is where I have a problem. You see, go to my Facebook wall today, and people are asking me whether I'm a Ghanaian. And
why? Just because of your color?
Just because I have a Lebanese father like him. And I'm surprised that the MPP who sees this man as an MPP and claim, yes, he's our man, he's a Ghanaian, like Honorable just said here.
No, he's a Ghanaian.
Yes, of course, he's a Ghanaian. He's a Ghanaian because he's in MPP. But I'm not a Ghanaian because I'm in NDC.
Well, has somebody disputed it?
Of course, that's why I say go there. I'm saying, see, these are certain things that
when individuals write these things, you don't come and see.
No, that is not individual. No, that's not individual.
No,
are you talking about the Honorable Kennedy Japan in 2008?
Because you're Lebanese.
Individual, he was then the campaign leader for Ashanti region of the MPP. Made a statement that I shouldn't be allowed to be on radio because I wasn't a Ghanaian. If you want, I'll give you the voices for you to play. My point here is not about him. My point here is that this man is exactly like me. And I'm not sure
he's even full or he's a cast.
I don't know. But
the issue is even if he's 100% foreigner, do we have to treat him this way?
Honorable, let me make a point. We've gone beyond the treating of him because we talk about I also, condemned it, that the torture is too much. I mean, it's not about how you handle it. Calling him is not a problem. My problem here is that I thought I was the only half Lebanese, half Ghanaian.
in Ghana becoming the president of Ghana, even though his father is. So this is not an issue.
That is why I'm saying that, I'm not
sure. Your argument is moot.
No. The point is
it's a deputy coordinator for the National Disaster Management Organization. And Honorable Ben Aye is a member of parliament for Upper Denchira West. And thanks for joining me, gentlemen.
Yes.
We're taking a break. 1 week.